Black made a move. King takes g7. Pause the video to figure out white's next move. Queen takes f6 check. King h6. Queen g7 check. King h5. Queen takes h7 check. King g5. On h4 check. Knight takes h4. Queen e7 check. King h6. Queen g7 check. King h5. On g4 mate white won. Let's go to the next game. White just played. Queen takes f4 check. Pause the video to figure out black's next move. King takes f4. On h4. King g4. Black's idea is to play king takes h4 and establish a winning position. On h5 played by white. White is setting up to play. On h6. On f5. On h7. On f4. On promotes to queen at h8 and dominate the board. On takes h5 played by black. King g1. King g3. King h1. On h4. King g1. On h3. Black is preparing to play. King g4. On takes h3 check. King takes h3 and secure a stronghold in the game. On takes h3 played by white. King takes h3. King f2. Black is clearly ahead. Let's go to the next game. Black just played. On g5. Pause the video to spot white's next move. On c4. On a6. On b4. White considers playing. On a4. On a5. On c5. On takes c5. On takes a5. King d6. King takes e4 and gain a significant edge. On b5 played by black. Black is setting up to play pawn takes c4 and take decisive advantage. On c5 played by white. King d5. On c6. White might go for. On c7. King c4. On promotes to queen at c8 check and secure a stronghold in the game. King takes c6 played by black. King takes e4. King d6. King f5. King c7. King takes g5. On the 5. King h6. White is preparing to play. King takes h7 and seize the initiative. King d6 played by black. On takes a5. King c5. Black is outplayed. Let's go to the next game. Black just played. King d6. Pause the video to find out white's response. Rook e7. On c3. On f7. On takes b2. On promotes to queen at f8. On promotes to queen at b1. Queen d8 check. King a6. Queen a8 check. King b5. Rook takes b7 check. King c4. Rook c7 check. King d3. Queen f3 check. King d2. Queen f4 check. King d1. Queen takes f5. King c1. White is dominating the board. Let's go to the next game. Black played. Rook e8. Pause the video to figure out white's next move. Rook takes g5. On takes g5. On e6. White's idea is to play. Bishop e5. Rook a8. King c6. Rook a7. King takes b6 and increase their advantage significantly. Rook c8 was chosen by black. King d6. Rook d8 check. King c6. White is setting up to play. On e7 check. King e8. Pawn promotes to queen at ex d8 check and dominate the board. King e8 move preferred by black. Bishop e5. White is preparing to play. Bishop d6. Rook takes d6 check. King takes d6 and take decisive advantage. Rook d3 played by black. Pawn f7 check. King e7. Bishop f6 check. King takes f6. Pawn promotes to queen at f8 check. King takes e6. Pawn a4. King e5. King takes b6. Pawn g4. White is in a commanding position. Let's go to the next game. White made a move. Pawn c6 check. Pause the video and try to find black's next move. King c8. Black intends to play. Pawn h3. Rook g1. Rook takes a7. King takes a7. Pawn h2. Rook takes g2. Pawn promotes to queen at h1 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Pawn c7 was chosen by white. White wants to play. King c6. Pawn h3. Rook b1. Pawn promotes to rook at g1. Rook b8 check. Rook takes b8. Pawn promotes to queen at ax b8 mate and sees the initiative. Rook takes a7 move preferred by black. King takes a7. King takes c7. Pawn d6 check. Pawn takes d6. Rook c1 check. King d7. King b6. Pawn h3. Rook c7 check. King e6. Black might go for pawn promotes to queen at g1 check and put immense pressure on the opponent. Rook g7 played by white. King f6. Black intends to play king takes g7 and increase their advantage significantly. Rook g8 played by white. Pawn h2. Black is planning to play. Pawn promotes to queen at g1 check. Rook takes g1. Pawn promotes to queen at hx g1 check and secure a stronghold in the game. Rook takes g2 move preferred by white. Pawn promotes to queen at h1. Rook f2 check. White is outplayed. Let's go to the next game. Black just played. Knight g4. Pause the video to find out white's response. Knight e8. Rook takes f1 check. Rook takes f1 check. King takes e8. Queen takes g7. Knight f2 check. King takes c2. Bishop d7. Queen f7 check. King d8. Pawn g7. White wants to play. Pawn promotes to queen at g8 check and gain a significant edge. King c7 move preferred by black. Black considers playing. Knight g4. Rook f3. Queen g5. Queen f8. Rook e8. King d1. Knight e5. Rook f4. Queen takes g2 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Rook takes f2 move preferred by white. Pawn b4. Pawn takes b4. Queen d3 check. King d1. Queen h7. Queen f4 check. King c6. Pawn b5 check. King takes b5. Queen c7. White is setting up to play. Queen takes d7 check and take decisive advantage. Queen takes g7 played by black. Queen b7 check. King c5. Black is aiming to play. Bishop a4 check. Pawn b3. Queen takes b7 and sees the initiative. Queen takes a8 move preferred by white. Bishop a4 check. Black's loss is confirmed. Let's go to the next game. Black made a move. Bishop g5. Pause the video to figure out white's next move. Rook takes f6. Queen b2. Black's idea is to play. Queen takes a 1 check. Queen d1. Queen takes d1 check. Rook f1. Queen takes f1 mate and gain a significant edge. Rook a f1 played by white. White is preparing to play. Pawn takes h7 check. Rook takes h7. Queen takes g5 check. Rook g7. Rook f8 check. Rook takes f8. Rook takes f8 check. King takes f8. Queen d8 mate and take decisive advantage. Queen takes f6 move preferred by black. Rook takes f6. Bishop takes f6. Pawn takes h7 check. King takes h7. Queen h5 check. King g7. Queen f7 check. King h6. Queen takes f6 check. King h7. Pawn e7. Rook hg8. Queen f5 check. King h6. Pawn g4. Pawn d5. Queen f6 check. King h7. Queen f7 check. King h6. Pawn h4. White is preparing to play. Pawn g5 check. Rook takes g5. Pawn takes g5 check and establish a winning position. Rook takes g4 move preferred by black. Queen f8 check. Rook takes f8. Pawn promotes to queen at ex f8 check. King g6 black has no response. Let's go to the next game. White played. King takes g3. Pause the video to find out black's response. White wants to play. Rook e7. King f6. Rook takes b7 and take decisive advantage. King takes e4 move preferred by black. On f5. White is planning to play. On f6. King f5. On f7. King f6. Pawn promotes to queen at f8 check and secure a stronghold in the game. King takes f5 was chosen by black. King f3. King e5. King e3. King d5. Black intends to play. King c4. King e4. King takes b4 and increase their advantage significantly. King d3 played by white. On the 5. Black wants to play. Pawn takes b4 and take decisive advantage. Pawn takes a5 was chosen by white. King takes c5. Pawn a6. King takes b6. Pawn takes b7. King takes b7. King e4. King c7. King f5. King d6. Black is looking to play. Pawn c5. King e4. King e6. King d3. King f5. King c4. King g4. King takes c5. King takes h4 and dominate the board. King e4 was chosen by white. On c5. Black considers playing. King e6. King d3. King f5. King c4. King g4. King takes c5. King takes h4 and increase their advantage significantly. King f4 was chosen by white. King d5. King e3. King e5. King d3. King f5. King c4. King g4. King takes c5. King takes h4. King d4. Black is clearly ahead. Let's go to the next game. White just played. Knight g2. Pause the video and try to predict black's next move. Bishop b2. Black considers playing. Bishop takes a 3 and increase their advantage significantly. On a 4 move preferred by white. On c4. Pawn takes b5. Pawn takes b3. Knight e3. Bishop e5. King d3. King c5. Black is aiming to play king takes b5 and increase their advantage significantly. Pawn b6 was chosen by white. King takes b6. Knight c4 check. King b5. Pawn d6. White wants to play knight takes e5 and secure a stronghold in the game. Pawn b2 was chosen by black. Black's idea is to play pawn promotes to queen at b1 check and gain a significant edge. Knight takes b2 played by white. Bishop takes d6. Knight c4. White might go for knight takes d6 check and seize the initiative. Bishop f4 was chosen by black. King d4. Pawn a4. Black is aiming to play king b4. Pawn h4. Bishop g3. Pawn h5. Bishop f4. King d3. Bishop c1. Pawn g5. Pawn takes g5 and secure a stronghold in the game. King c3 move preferred by white. King c5. Pawn h4. Bishop g3. Pawn h5. Bishop e1 check. King d3. Bishop b4. Knight e3. Pawn a3. King c2. King d4. Black is planning to play king takes e3 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Knight f1 move preferred by white. King e4. Black is preparing to play king f4. King c1. Bishop f8. Knight h2. King g3. Pawn g5. Pawn takes g5 and dominate the board. King b1 move preferred by white. King f4. Black considers playing king takes g4 and secure a stronghold in the game. Knight h2 was chosen by white. Bishop c5. King c2. King g3. Black wants to play king takes h2 and dominate the board. Pawn g5 played by white. Pawn takes g5. Knight f1 check. White has no response. Let's go to the next game.